All Fork Sports. We made this channel just for basketball, and the season's about to get locked, loaded, and the action is already started in the preseason. So I got to get busy and start talking about my team ratings and where we see the future of the team as far as playoffs and, the NBA championship. At this time, Atlantic Division is going to be my focus. And the guys in the Northeast, because that's where I'm from, out east, the Knickerbockers made some big moves, so we're going to key in on what kind of excitement we expect from this season on the New York Knicks, who finally may have an opening because of the moves they didn't make this offseason. Let's first talk about the transactions, then look at their current squad. So, back in June, they signed Theo Pinson. I don't know if that's necessarily a big thing or a small thing. I don't know what to call it. Looks like a potential role player at shooting guard. We'll talk about Theo a little bit. The big move that I thought was kind of horrendous to me, but there must have been some type of attitude adjustment. Something must have been going on in the Knicks locker room that I'm trying to figure out. Why was Alonzo Trier let go? Interesting move. However, they did replace him with somebody similar and a vet that's actually more proven in Alec Burke. He joins the Knickerbockers. In addition to, they went ahead and drafted Mr. Jared Harper. He signed a two-way contract after the draft. And in their big pickup, who I call Stats Light, if you know who that is, that's Amare Stoudemire 2.0. It is Obi Toppin. Doesn't have the muscle strength, but is showing a lot of stat to me in the way he plays. Definitely is already having more handle advancement than Amare had later on in his career. Next up, Omari Spellman was picked up. That's a center, power forward. He can do it all. Little bit of a sleeper there. Don't sleep on Spellman. He can do a lot of things. They also went ahead and signed Nerlens Noel. Interesting play there. We'll talk about that. They already got a guy in Mitchell Robinson that's similar, but we'll see where they go. And then next up, Austin Rivers, taken all the way out from the West Coast on the Houston Rockets. He joins the freaking New York Knicks, so that's exciting. Now, as we continue up, Emmanuel Quickly. Yeah, that's the Kentucky shooting guard that wasn't drafted, but was signed as a free agent. He joins that team, trying to make that team. We'll see what happens with Quickly. And then we got Jacob Evans, who was waived, and in the signing of Andrew White III. He's basically an all-around type player, and we'll discuss how that fits in. But I just wanted to show you all the moves. The big thing that did not happen this offseason is a Russell Westbrook trade, which I thought would have been horrendous, or a Chris Paul trade, which I also thought would be horrendous. The reason why I'm saying that, the stats tell me for next year, there's going to be a lot of draft picks. And if the Knicks can keep what they have and maybe trade for additional draft picks, they're well set to set themselves up to be a playoff team for years to come. You heard it here first. Mikey, step it back. Yeah, I'm stepping back. I'm leaning in on you, but then stepping back. New York Knicks will be a playoff team next year if they're able to hold this core and get some draft picks. Let's get into it. The Knicks. So we talked about the roster. Let's talk about some of the stats from last year. They lost Bobby Portis. He's now gone. Okay, 10 points a game. Okay, 4 rebounds. Kevin Knox is still with the team. Has averaged 7 points and 3 rebounds. Julius Randle was their star, who they picked up, signed him to a pretty good contract, and was their only high-team double-digit scorer. 73% from the free throw line, which is not good in my opinion, but 46% from the field. 3-point lane, that's another conversation. This is the 3-point, 27%, but he's an all-around player. I like him. I still love Julius Randle's style. Still think he's an exciting two-way player. He can play a little bit of defense. Not a shot blocker, but a good defender, and a little bit of offense. Great handling. If you think about Antoine Walker in the flesh, Antoine Walker with athleticism, that is Julius Randle. Taj Gibson, I heard he was signed now, but we'll talk about that. Mitchell Robinson, he averaged 9 points, but let's talk about where he counted. 2 blocks per game. Don't bring it here, baby. I got to step back on you. I know it. I know I got to step back on you. Mitchell Robinson's still there. Frank Ntilikina, a disappointing rookie season. Maybe a little bit of a disappointment career, but when I look at his draft and who was there and available, I still believe he can be a strong defender. And if he does that, he saves his career because he wasn't the first pick. Okay, it is what it is. I like Nicotina. I think defensively he's coming along. He's continued to improve every year. I see it, and that's good enough for me. Just not where you would want him to be, and maybe perhaps that New York atmosphere, because that could jack you up real bad. Look at the percentages from the free throw line. Hey, things that you don't think about. He was 86% from the free throw line, 32% for three, had a 39% field goal average, all right? Now, continuing down, a guy that is supposed to be a superstar, their second leading scorer, I believe, last year was R.J. Barrett, 14 a game, 2.6 assists, almost 4 rebounds, 61% from the free throw line, not good. Three-point lane, 32%, again, not good. And then their field goal percentage was 40%. Again, no one is tremendous, but over 40%, I'll take that from field goal range. He scores inside a lot. A tough player. I like R.J. Barrett and like where they're going with him, okay? Damian Dotson, another guy off of the bench. They're sixth man of whatever you want to call it. 7 points a game. Not too bad. Free throw percentage, 66%. Man, they are hurting here. Three-point lane, 36%. Probably one of their better three-point shooters. You're over 35, I respect you. And 41% from the field. I like Dotson. I like what he's bringing to the table. He's always improving. Not bad off of the bench. Alfred Payton returns as a defensive killer. Look at his three-point percentage. Horrible, 20%. Field goal, 43%. Free throws, 56%. Not good at all in any of these scoring lanes. But he is good at one thing. Let's go to the steals. 1.6 steals per game. Him and Nicotina should be wreaking havoc on any other point guards in the NBA. That should be their job, 10 points a game. Wayne Ellington was there last year. Not sure this year. We'll look at it. Dennis Smith Jr., probably the biggest disappointment for me because he's one of my favorite guys. He's a guy that's part of the step back crew. He got a crossover and a step back. This is my dude. I think he should be the leader of this team. Yeah, you heard me say it. He has that talent that I still believe in. Dennis Smith Jr. out of North Carolina. I remember the mixtapes. I remember you at North Carolina State. I remember you at Dallas Mavericks, and I know what you can do here. So I expect Dennis Smith Jr. to have a comeback season this year. He should be fully healthy. Has some things going on last year. If he gets the minutes, he will be the leader of this team in their current state. Yeah, you heard me say it. He could be the leader of this team and the leading scorer. Horrible season, 5.5 points per game. Reason why I never really got touch time with the coaching that was available. Almost 3 assists. Free throws, 50%. Miserable. Three-point line, 29%. Field goal, 34%. Again, that's all right, but, this is where he was at last year. That's not Dennis Smith Jr. that we know, and I expect to not see the Dennis Smith Jr. that we'll see for this year. But he's exciting for me and one of the possible surprises for this year. Reggie Bullock, three-point range, right guy. They had that. Harkless, I know he's gone, but I'm talking about he has 6 points per game. And then Ignas Brazdeikis, nice pickup out of Michigan. I think he'll certainly play a bigger role. He definitely needs to be their three-point guy. This is unacceptable. 11%, even with the games played. Jared Harper was the addition. Again, they talked about him. Theo Pinson was another addition. And then Kenny Wooten was a guy straight off the streets. Really didn't play any time, as you can see. Nothing for me to talk about. But let's get into current state real quick. A little bit longer in the video, but this is, again, the season preview. Let's talk about what they got right now, here and now. Boom. Let's get in it. R.J. Barrett returns. Breestis returns. Bullock returns, their top three-point shooter. They still keep their scoring in Alec Burke. Jared Harper was the addition. Now, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist is a new addition from a defensive perspective. The Knicks are looking scarier every day. Kevin Knox comes in, another long guy. Hey, he could do a lot of different things. He could potentially fulfill a role of a Kevin Durant light 0.50, not even 2.0, 0.50 Kevin Knox. But I see potential in him. He's also got a chip on his shoulder. He may show me something more, and he may have more. I think he does that at Kentucky if given the minutes. Stretch the floor, shoot the three. He can do a lot of different things. Nerlens Noel joins the team at center position. Excited for Nerlens Noel. Center forward, big guy, 6'11", big blocking potential. I really like Nerlens Noel on this team. However, it's like a conflict of interest when you already have Mitchell Robinson. Frank Nicotina, defensive guard. Payton, defensive guard. Theo Pinson, not sure what they'll get from him. Miles Powell joins that potential making a team prospect here. Emmanuel quickly is another guy they signed. They got Randall back. They added Austin Rivers. Great pickup there from the shooting guard perspective, point guard. Mitchell Robinson, center. I'm going to go back to Austin. Let's see what surprises we could get from Austin Rivers with a green light. That's the question for me. I know he's a vet. What can we get Austin Rivers with a kind of a green light and no hard? Interesting here. Exciting to see what we get from him. Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, they potentially make the Twin Towers. It's going to be tough to get inside with them two in there. Dennis Smith Jr., It's your year, kid. This is your team. Need to make it happen. They are pretty stacked at the guard position, a little bit heavy with Smith, Rivers, Payton, and Nicotina, but he's going to have to show out he's a level above if given the opportunity. Amari Spellman, the all-around player, the all-around product, solidifies that bench. I like him, multi-use for the power forward center position, stretching the floor out. I love this talent, okay? It's been jumped around a lot, but he can do a lot more than what he's being traded for. What I'm trying to say is they're trading him around like he's freaking loose meat. That's not the case. He's a solid player. If given an opportunity, yes, he could be a potential 10-8 guy for your team easily and stretch the floor. Obi Toppin is the big haymaker, power forward center. I love what I saw from his first preseason game. Long, athletic, can put the ball a little bit on the floor, loves the post. I think we have something special with Obi. And then Andrew Wright's a good guy. Again, stretch four for me. I know they got him at 4. Had a pretty solid career. 6'7", again, solid guard. Stretch 4, 3. He should provide that good, I would say, the good guy role on the team, encouragement, and safety. Now, he can stretch the floor. I really like this, what I see here. So now, going in, where are we headed from a perspective when we look at the divisions and the rankings and the teams, and you say in the Atlantic Division with the Brooklyn Nets there, the Celtics there, and as well as the 76ers and Raptors, is there any chance in hell of them getting out on top in this division? No. Okay, that's clear. That's clear. However, is there any chance in hell that they can wreak havoc at the 8th position in these conferences for the East? Look up top. The Bulls, I think, there'll be a fight there. I think Levine is just a more well-rounded player, and they have some talent. I think the Bulls got them. I do think they're better than Cleveland right now, okay? Detroit Pistons, they're a sleeper team. Watch out. We're going to get into them real soon. I'm scared about them. They can be doing a lot of damage. Indiana Pacers, they're just solid coaching, solid team. They keep making it, even though with the talent they have, I question mark it all the time. But they continue to make it happen for somehow, some way. It's just ridiculous. Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis is there. I hate to tell you, even with the moves they made, we'll talk about them. I'm not sure they're better, and I think they got worse. Next up, Atlanta Hawks. They made a lot of preseason moves. They want the playoffs. But who you going to knock out? The East just got a little bit tougher, my friends. It's not as easy as it looks. Hawks got to beat out a lot of teams. In Detroit, I think will be there. Brooklyn, Boston, again, healthy Kyrie, healthy Durant. 76ers, do the Toronto Raptors finally fall off? Do they finally play to what they have? Not sure, but Nurse is a great coach. Somehow makes it happen. I don't know how they get in, guys. We'll talk about the Hawks. Charlotte Hornets. Not sure what the heck's going to happen there. I think they're still in rebuild mode. They need to slowly creep up. Miami Heat, leaders, champions. What changes there? They lost one of their leapers. We'll get into that squad in a second. I want to talk about what happens there, but they were able to draft Precious and Chua, which is exciting. Orlando Magic coming in as well. A lot of sleeper steals. Orlando Magic. God, don't sleep on the Magic, boys. I'm telling you. They're a sleeper team. It's a race in the East. It's not easy as you look at these lineups. Russell Westbrook joins the Washington Wizards, and that's going to be interesting. So for my Knicks squad, another lottery. Sorry, guys. It is what it is. I'm showing you the teams and the numbers and the profile and the stats, and we just went through this real quick. You know who the players are on these squads. They can't get in there, but it'll be next year. So they're going to be another lottery pick, but they'll have an exciting growth season. Expect to see Garrett to run and grow. I expect Brazizis to finally develop into a good bench role player for them. Knox as well solidify his role with this team. This is role positioning this year, and not for the starters. It's for the bench. And I think this is a solid team that's going to make a little bit of noise. They'll definitely be better than last year. However, they're not going to be a playoff team unless this guy catches fire. This guy is Stoudemire, and this guy is Antoine Walker. If that's the big three and they get moving with the bench moving with them, even though I think they're missing a lot of three-point shooting, okay? There's a lot of three-point shooting missing from this team. That's what they need. It'll be interesting to see where they end up. I just don't see them getting to the 8th spot with this roster. They got to gel. I'm going to sign off here. We just went over the New York Knicks in their slotted position. Are they going to make the playoffs right now? I say no bueno. We'll check them out in the season and see how they get better. Three-point shooting is a need for this team. I'm out. Smikey, yeah. Hold up. Step back. Bang.